everybody. Welcome to the Basement Boys podcast. I'm Asher. We got Dakota over here, and we're gonna be doing some creepy pasta for spooky season.
Yes, sir.
I figure we dive into it, unless you have any opening remarks.
I was just gonna say, do you know much about creepypasta?
I hate to confess this. In elementary school, I was a creepy pasta kid.
I was too, kinda. I was too.
Yeah, we wrote what was the website? There was a website and you could write your own creepypastas, or they had like it was Quizlet or something. And it was like you could do your own choose your own adventure through quizzes creepypastas.
Oh, what the hell, dude?
I
That's sick,
spent
eh?
an insane amount of time on that website.
Dude, that's sick.
It was actually like as a kid, think about it now. Like even if I was on it now, that is sick because it really was like
Yeah.
choose your own adventure, and it was doing it through like a quiz format.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I would easily have spent a lot of time on that if I knew about it.
Got lost in this. Yeah, did you have a favorite creepypasta growing up?
I don't know. I don't think specifically I had a super favorite one. I was a kid, so they were all scary. So I listened to them, but they always terrified me.
That's valid. I think mine's it was kind of it was definitely not like a creepy pasta. It was like a amalgamation of all of the creepy pastas living in a mansion together.
Oh, I've heard about that. They were living in the Slender Man's mansion, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if that one's like official or not, or if that was just. I guess I don't know if there's any officialness to creepypasta. I think it's all open
I know for
source.
I know for a lot of it, yeah, it's kind of like people do their own thing, for the most part. And I know some people have kind of picked up stories and written stuff with them, but
Yeah.
I think some of that stuff is all fan made, kind of like what is it, like a TV show kind of thing where they all just kind of live together.
Yeah, and I think that's how SCP does it as well, don't they? Where it's there's not like an official SCP creator, it's all a bunch of guys
Oh yeah,
making stories.
it's a whole wiki of people making their own
How
stories.
fun. What a cool way to do that.
Oh yeah.
Like open source, everyone kinda has it. And that does lead to there being some really cringe bad ones. I feel like it definitely opens up the ability for good ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're starting with the big boy classic, the one everyone knows, with the scary picture that circulated the internet throughout the 2000s, Mr. Jeffrey Killer.
Do you know that still Lost Media? They still do not know what the original image for Jeff the Killer is.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
I
because
thought
it
that
is
was the
obviously
original.
this is no. So this is like so this is the image that is used, but a lot of people notice that there's like an unedited version of this. That's like someone took this photo and edited it to look like this. So
Yeah.
there's been a hunt to see if they could find the original unedited photo of whoever it
The
was.
OG Mr. Jeffrey
Yeah,
murderer.
yeah.
This video, because it was literally everywhere, like 90% of YouTube thumbnails, I swear to God. It always creeped me out so bad.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You
That
see it and you're
or
like, oh,
what's
yeah,
the other
ooh,
one? Momo. Yeah,
smile.
you squint your eyes a little
Oh
bit.
yeah, Momo's pretty scary. Smile Dog was always kind of creepy. The like
Yeah.
super creepy picture of Smile Dog uh, was always super creepy.
Traumatizing. Let's see. So this the story are we just reading the story, I assume? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll start us off then. The way they start it is an excerpt from a local newspaper. Killer still at large. After weeks of unexplained murders, the ominous killer unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he survived one of the killer's attacks and bravely tells his story. Poor kid, dude. Actually.
Yeah.
Um, Here's his story. I had a bad dream and I woke up in the middle of the night. says the boy. I saw that for some reason the window was open, even though I remember it being closed before I went to bed. I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards, I simply crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. That's when I had a strange feeling, like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in the little ray of light illuminating from between my curtains, were a pair of two eyes. These were not regular eyes. They were dark, ominous eyes. They were bordered in black and just plain out terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth, a long, horrendous smile that made every hair of my body stand up. The figure stood there watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said it. A simple phrase was said in only a way a madman could speak. He said, "Go to sleep." I let out a scream. That's what sent him at me. He pulled up a knife, aiming at my heart. He jumped on at the top of my bed. I fought him back. I kicked, I punched, I rolled around, trying to knock him off me. That's when my dad busted in. The man threw the knife into my dad's shoulder. The man probably would have finished him off if one of the neighbors hadn't alerted the police. They drove into the parking lot and ran towards the door. The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard a smash like glass breaking as I came out of my room. I saw the window that was pointing towards the back of my house was broken. I looked at it and I see him vanish into the distance. I can tell you one thing, I will never forget that face. Those cold, evil eyes and that psychotic smile, they will never leave my head. Jesus Christ. Can you imagine?
That'd be terrifying. That would be like, I think that's every person's nightmare, right? To like wake up in the middle of the night and you woke up, you don't really know what's happening. And then you're like, man, I thought I closed the window. You also have to think this is supposed to be a young boy, so we don't actually know how old this boy is.
Yeah.
Um, but all of a sudden you see someone like in your closet as a kid, terrifying. That'd be
Yeah.
the worst, honestly, the worst thing ever.
I would not be probably be you definitely have to go to therapy or something. You'd be so cooked the rest of your life. Jump scared at everything.
And like the man has like surgical precision and threw a knife into your dad's shoulder like a
Yeah, exactly.
secret agent, dude. Crazy.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? Stop.
Terrifying.
I'd be a little spooked out, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's
That's
see.
fair.
Police are still on the. This is his. That was his whole story. This is back to the paper, I assume. Police are still on the look for this man. If you see anyone that fits the description in this story, please contact your local police department. Jeff and his family had moved into a new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work. They thought it would be best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother Lou couldn't complain though. A new, better house? What was not to love? As they were getting unpacked, one of their neighbors came by. "Hello," he said. That was not a lady's voice. "I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and to introduce my son." She turns around and she calls her son over. "Billy, these are our new neighbors." Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard. "Well," said Jeff's mom, "I'm Margaret. This is my husband Peter and my two sons Jeff and Lou." They each introduced themselves and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said that they would love to. When Jeff and his family are done packing, Jeff went up to his mom. Why didn't he want to go to this kid's birthday?
Dude, you have to think that they literally just got here.
That's
So
true.
like you're just introduced to these guys, you probably just want to relax, and then all of a sudden your mom is like, hey, or this lady's like, hey, do you want to come to my son's birthday party? And your mom's like, yeah, they'd love to. You're like, dude, I just don't want to do anything.
I'd like to unpack, maybe, like...
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what, you're right. Fuck, the mom's the bad guy.
She's the
Controversial
catalyst. She
statement.
starts all this garbage.
Yeah. "Mom, why would you invite us to some kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid." Okay, well, maybe he's an edgelord. Jeff, said his mother, we just moved here. We should show that we want to spend time with our neighbors. Now we're going to that party and that's final. Jeff started to talk but stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mom said something, it was final. He walked up to his room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there looking at his ceiling when suddenly he got a weird feeling. Not so much a pain, but a weird feeling. He dismissed it as just some random feeling. He heard his mother call him down to get his stuff and walked down to get it. Well, if they're still moving in, how's his bed already there?
So they got all moved in. And here's the thing. Let's be real. This story probably is not very well written. It's
definitely
very
not,
old.
yeah.
The person was... So they're just like, hey, we're moving in. And then, boop, all their stuff's moved out and moved in.
Honestly, that's my dream superpower. Moving sucks.
Moving does suck. It's not fun. It's the worst thing ever.
It really is.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I like how it kind of like he's like got this darkness inside of him,
Yeah.
but it just now brings up like this boy's got this darkness in him.
He has
like,
dark, random feelings.
It's like, when did these start? Has he always had these, or did it happen? When they first moved there?
Yeah, where's this coming from? Why is he demon mode already?
Yeah.
He popped on his bed and went demon. I feel like that's the one place you don't have to demon mode at.
Yeah. The beast is awakening.
Careful, mother. You might trigger my killer instinct.
Don't stand in my shadow.
The next day, Jeff walked downstairs to get breakfast and got ready for school. He sat there eating his breakfast. He once again got that feeling. This time it was stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain, but he once again dismissed it. As he and Lou finished breakfast, they walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus, and then all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise. Hey, what the hell? What a cool guy.
Hold on. How did they jump back though? If they were sitting.
Yeah, that's a really good. I'm imagining this just kind of like in an animatic format or something, like a real guys, and it's just the most robotic. Like they stand up, jump like NPCs.
Yeah, it's super delayed. They haven't actually done it. It's like a sim or something.
Exactly. Yeah. That's so good, actually. Hey. The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it with his hands. Such a cool fucking guy.
Dude. Badass.
The kid seemed to be about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. He wears an Aeropostale t-shirt and ripped blue jeans. You know what Aeropostale is?
Yes, I do. No, it's I know it was a clothing thing that you could get a long time ago. They look kind of sick. I used to have a ton of Aeropostale stuff.
Oh shit! But okay, yeah, it's coming back to me. Interesting. Yeah. They definitely sold at least like lookalikes at Walmart, and I wore those a lot.
Oh yeah, no, they were good.
Well. It looks like we got some new meat. Suddenly, two other kids appeared. One was super skinny, and the other was huge. That's kind of mean. Well, since you're here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. Over there is Keith, Jeff, and Lou looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have. He's Troy. They looked over at the fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard. This kid looked like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling. Holy goddamn, Jeffrey.
Yeah,
this guy started out a kill. I'm starting to think there was nothing that could have been done. He was just going to be a villain. He already has his dark passenger.
Oh, yeah. Dude's evil.
And I, said the first kid, am Randy. Randy's the cool guy. Now, for all the kids in this neighborhood, there is a small price for bus fare. If you catch my drift. Lou stand up, ready to punch the lights out of the kid's eyes, when one of his friends pulled a knife on him. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I had hoped you would be more cooperative, but it seems we must do this the hard way. The kid walked up to Lou and took his wallet out of his pocket. Why are these are kids and they're getting mugged. I did not have a wallet when I was 12 years old. They saying bring it
I
to
didn't either.
school. Jeff got
No,
that
I
feeling
never. I don't
again.
think I ever had a wallet. I don't think I ever had a wallet in my life. Well,
I
that's
carried
a
loose
lie. I have
change.
had a wallet, just not as a kid. I didn't. I don't think I started carrying a wallet around until I was like 16.
Yeah, I think not until I got a driver's license did I start bringing a wallet with me places.
Like maybe if I had some cash, but that was like few and far between, to be honest.
That's fair. That's fair. I was working, so I guess I had a wallet while I was working. I never brought my wallet to school though. I don't know. That's just what these are 12-year-olds. They're doing like
That's
a gang violence, I suppose.
yeah.
Very intriguing. Let's see. Took his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got that feeling again. Now it was truly strong. A burning sensation. He stood up, but Lou gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid. Listen here, you little punk. Give back my bro's wallet or else. Randy put the wallet in his pocket and pulled out his own knife. Oh, and what will you do? Just as he finishes the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Oh my god. Randy
God damn.
screamed, and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rushed over Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground screaming. Troy rushed him too, but Jeff didn't even need the knife. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach, and Troy went down. As he fell, he puked all over. Lou could do nothing but look in amazement at Jeff. What the hell?
Dude, he's a spy. He just walked out there, just
Yeah, like what?
snapped the dude's wrist.
What are you
What the
talking
hell?
about? Jeff out here winning 3v1s? Easily, I might add. Like there was no challenge for Jeff here.
He no diffed.
The guys had weapons, 3v1'd him, and yeah, Jeff no diffed. What kind of power scaling is homie on? Does he become Jonathan Wick?
Dude, I guess so.
Because he's, I guess, a year older than Randy, so he's 13. My god. I would like whatever karate lessons Jeffrey has.
Yeah, holy shit.
Jeff? How did you... That was all he said. They saw the bus coming, knew they'd be blamed for the whole thing, so they started running. Running is... They should be blamed. No, they're getting mugged. Alright, no, you're right. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. As Jeff and Lou made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened. All they did was sit and listen. Lou just thought of that. As his brother beating up a few kids, but Jeff knew it was more. It was something scary. As he got that feeling, he felt how powerful it was. The urge to just hurt someone. He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help feeling happy. He felt that strange feeling go away and stay away for the entire day of school, even as he walked in home due to the whole thing near the bus stop and how now he probably wouldn't be taking the bus anymore. He felt happy when he got home. His parents asked him how his day was. He said in a somewhat ominous voice, "It was a wonderful day, Mother." Next morning, he heard a knock at his front door. He walked down to find two police officers at the door, his mother looking back at him with an angry look. "Jeff, these officers tell me that you attacked 3 kids, that it wasn't regular fighting, and that they were stabbed. Stabbed, son!" Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that it was true. "Mom, they were the ones who pulled the knives on me and Wu." "Son," said one of the cops, "we found 3 kids, 2 stabbed. One having a bruise on his stomach, and we have witness proving that you fled the scene. Now what does that tell us?" Jeff knew it was no use. He could say him and Lou had been attacked, and there was no proof of it. It was not them who attacked first. They couldn't say they weren't fleeing, because truth be told, they were. so Jeff couldn't defend himself or Lou. Realistically, if there was a witness, they probably, I'd assume,
Welcome back.
if there was a witness, you'd assume they would witness the gang violence, or all the other kids who are victims of this gang violence would be able to be like, hey, this guy's mugging people. That checks out.
Yeah.
I don't know if that gives him permission to almost kill two kids, but
Self-defense, though.
yeah, exactly. Like, come on, Jeffrey. Think, Jeffrey. Son, call down your brother. Jeff couldn't do it, since it was him who beat up all the kids. Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up the kids. Lou tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me. All I imagine is like the werewolf. He couldn't stop the
Image.
beast.
He couldn't stop the beast inside. And then just starts blasting Animal.
Yeah, exactly. Done. The cop looked at his partner and they both nod. Well, kids, looks like a year in juvie. Wait, says Lou. They all looked up to see him holding a knife. The officers pulled their guns and locked them on Lou. Holy Christ.
Holy shit. Dude.
Instant locked in. This kid dropped an acorn.
He said, fuck you guys. Pulls the knife out.
He really did. I'll take care of it. It was me. I beat up those little punks. Have the marks to prove it. He lifted up his sleeves to reveal cuts and bruises, as if he was in a struggle. Son, just put the knife down, said the officer. Lou held up the knife and dropped it to the ground. He put his hands up and walked over to the cops. No, Lou, it was me. I did it. Jeff had tears running down his face. Poor bro, trying to take the blame for what I did. Well, take me away. The police led Lou out to the patrol car. Lou, tell them it was me. Tell them. I was the one who beat up those kids. Jeff's mother put her hands on his shoulders. Jeff, please. You don't have to lie. We know it's Lou. You can stop. What is happening? The fact that there's an instant, like, you know what? We're not the biggest fans of this Lou kid. We can let him take it away.
Yeah, like that his mom must play favorites or something. Because she didn't even be like, my baby, my whatever. She's
like, take him away.
No,
Lock him up.
Lock him up.
He said dinner wasn't up to his liking.
Doesn't even defend her son. Like, we literally just moved here. Why would my son start beating the shit out of all these people?
Yeah,
no,
yeah, she doesn't like Lou at all.
Yeah.
If it was Jeff, she would have been like, "Aw, man, you know."
She would have defended him with her life.
Also, a year in juvie for stabbing people? I feel like it's got to be a little more time than that.
Well, also the fact that they just arrested him and sent him to juvie, like doesn't he have to go to court or something?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Where's the due process for my boy?
Like, it doesn't make sense.
Jeff, please. You don't. Oh wait, we already read this part. Son, what is it, Jeff? Jeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords were strained from crying. Instead, Jeff's mother walked his father inside to break the bad news to him. Holy shit. As Jeff wept in the driveway, after an hour or so, Jeff walked back into the house, seeing that his parents were both shocked, sad, and disappointed. He couldn't look at them. He couldn't see how they thought of Lou when it was his fault. He just went to sleep, trying to get the whole thing off his mind. 2 days went by with no words from Lou at JDC. I don't know what JDC is. I assume that's their prison or whatever.
Something like that, yeah. I think, or juvie or something. Like the juvenile detention center.
Yeah, oh yeah, that makes sense. No friends to hang out with. Nothing but sadness and guilt. That is until Saturday, when Jeff is woke up by his mother with a happy, sunshiny face. Jeff, it's the day, she said. She opened up the curtains and let the light flood into his room. What's today? Asked Jeff as he stirs awake. Why, it's Billy's party. He was now fully awake. You're wittily joking, Wyatt. You don't expect me to go to some kid's party after. There was a long pause. Jeff, we both know what happened. I think this party could be the thing that brightens up the past days. Now get dressed. Jeff's mother walked out of the room and downstairs to get ready herself. He fought himself to get up. He picked out a random shirt and a pair of jeans. He walked down the stairs. Saw his mother and father all dressed up. His mother in a dress, and his father in a suit. He thought why they would wear such fancy clothes to a kid's party. I will say, they really must have not liked Lou. Your
Yeah,
kid
no,
just
they.
almost killed people, went to juvie, and literally the next day you're like, alright, fancy party time.
She is more excited for this party than she is sad by the fact that one of her kids got arrested.
Correct. Suspicious. She was the killer.
Oh, he's going to Jeff the kill you.
No, not Jeff the kill me. I'm allergic.
You can't Jeff the kill me without my consent.
May I? It's like, have you ever seen those barber videos where it's like, may I touch you? But it's that, but he's like standing there over your bed about to kill you. May I touch you?
May I Jeff the kill you?
I have to get your consent or else it's weird. That's actually so good. Son, is that all you're going to wear? Said Jeff's mom. Better than wearing too much, he said. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him and hid it with a smile. Now, Jeff, we may be overdressed. This is how you go if you want to make an impression, said his father. Jeff grunted and went back up to his room. We don't have any fancy clothes, he yelled downstairs. Just pick out something, called his mother. He looked around in his closet for what he would call fancy. Found a pair of black dress pants he had for special occasions and an undershirt. Couldn't find a shirt to go with it, though. He looked around and found only striped and patterned shirts. None of which go with the dress pants. I didn't know he had a fashion sense, as well as being able to kill people so easily.
I mean, I would be, if I was a little kid, I would be very confused why someone shows up to my birthday party with like
A
fancy clothes
suit, a
on.
dress. Yeah. Also, what kid's birthday party is this? Like, what do his parents do where their idea of showing up to a birthday party is bringing the fanciest clothes they can find?
Like, oops, like if someone showed up like that, I would literally be like, why are you here in like
What are
a
you doing?
tuxedo and a dress? This is my child's birthday.
Yeah, like you're being weird. You're the first to go into the bounce house.
Into the bounce house. No.
Finally, he
Yeah.
found a white hoodie and put it on. You're wearing that? They both said. His mother looked at her watch. Oh no, time to change. Let's just go. She said as she herded Jeff and his father out the door. They crossed the street over to Barbara and Billy's house. They knocked on the door. At it. Knocked on the door, and at it appeared that Barbara. Just like his parents, way overdressed. As they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults, no kids. What the frick? What the heck? The kids are out in the yard, Jeff. How about you go and meet some of them, said Barbara. What is this party? Is this like a swingers party?
That's
I
what it
don't
sounds like.
understand.
That's why the mom's so excited.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, God damn, I've been stuck in this boring marriage for 12 years, raising a delinquent like Lou. She got her swing on, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess so.
Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes and shooting each other with plastic guns. You might as well be standing in a Toys R Us. Suddenly a kid... God, he's so negative. Suddenly a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun and hat. Hey, wanna play? He said. No, kid. I'm literally way too old for this stuff. The kid looked at him with that weird puppy dog face. Please, he said. Fine, said Jeff. He put on the hat and started to pretend to shoot at the kids. At first, he thought it was totally ridiculous, But then he started to actually have fun. It might not have been super cool. It was the first time he had done something that took his mind off of Lou. So he played with the kids for a while until he heard a noise. A weird rolling noise. Then it hit him. Brandy, Troy, and Keith all jumped over the fence on their skateboards. Well, how long after... You're telling me they both are healed out of the hospital after getting stabbed and their bones broken? Ready to fight Jeff again? Round two?
Yeah. Yeah. Also, how did they know that he was at the party? They're just like walking along, like, "Hey, that guy looks like that kid that beat our ass
Hey,
yesterday."
that's Jeffrey. Yeah, also, why try the 3v1 again if he, like, monstrously slammed you? You
It
know,
was a
come on.
fluke. It was a fluke.
Must have been a fluke.
Can't happen again.
They all jumped over the fence on their skateboards, badass. Jeff dropped the fake gun and ripped off the hat. Randy looked at Jeff with burning hatred. Hello, Jeff, is it? He said. We have some unfinished business. Jeff saw his bruised nose. I think we're even. I beat the crap out of you, and you got my brother sent to the JDC. Put away. Randy got an angry look in his eyes. Oh no, I don't go for even. I go for winning. You may have kicked our asses, swearing, one day, but
British.
not today. Big cringe. And he said that Randy rushed at Jeff. They both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him. Jeff pushed Randy off of him. Both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming, and parents were running out of the house. Troy and Keith both pulled guns out of their pocket. No one interrupts or guts will fly, they said. Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed it into his shoulder. What is this gang violence, bro? Jeff screamed and fell to his knees. Randy started kicking him in the face. After 3 kicks, Jeff grabs his foot and twists it, causing Randy to fall to the ground. Jeff stood up and walked towards the back door. Troy grabbed him. Need some help? He picks Jeff up by the back of the collar and throws him through the patio door. As Jeff tries to stand, he is kicked down to the ground. Randy repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood. Come on, Jeff, fight me! He picks Jeff up and throws him into the kitchen. Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the counter and smashes the glass over Jeff's head. Jesus, what is happening?
Holy shit.
It's getting
Dude, this
intense.
kid's got like super strength. Throwing him through doors and shit. Oh my
Yeah, what are
god.
these, like, ninja level kids? It's going insane. Fight, he throws Jeff back into the living room. Come on, Jeff, look at me. Jeff glances up, his face riddled with blood. I was the one who got... Oh, wrong guy. I was the one who got your brother sent to JDC, and now you're just gonna sit here and let him rot in there for a whole year? You should be ashamed. Jeff starts to get up. Oh, you finally said a fight. Jeff is now to his feet, blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets that strange feeling, the one in which he hasn't felt for a while. Finally, he's up, says Randy as he runs at Jeff. That's when it happens. Something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed, all rational thinking is gone. All he can do is kill. He grabs Randy and pile drives him to the ground. God damn. He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the heart. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop. As Randy gasps for breath, Jeff hammers down on him. Punch after punch, blood gushes from Randy's body until he takes one final breath and dies. Everyone is looking at Jeff now. The parents, the crying kids, even Troy and Keith, who have guns, by the way. They easily break from their gaze and point their guns at Jeff. Oh, okay. Jeff sees the guns trained on him and runs for the stairs. He runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him, each shot missing. Jeff runs up the stairs. He hears Troy and Keith follow up behind as they let out their final rounds of bullets. Jeff ducks into the bathroom. He grabs the towel rack and rips it off the wall. Troy and Keith race in, knives ready. Troy swings his knife at Jeff. Why would they pull out the knives if they have guns?
Well, they used all their bullets because they have bad
Oh,
aim.
You're right, you're right. Troy swings his knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. Troy goes down hard, and now all that's left is Keith. He's more agile than Troy, and ducks when Jeff swings the towel rack. He dropped the knife and grabbed Jeff by the neck. He pushed him into the wall. A thing of bleach fell down on top of him from the top shelf. It burned both of them, and they both started to scream. Jeff wiped his eyes as best as he could. He pulled. Why is there bleach on a top shelf in this bathroom?
Can we
Like, keep it
also
under the
go
sink.
over the fact that Jeff just one punched this kid in the chest, by the way, and just killed
Yeah,
him?
exploded his heart. He pile
Dude.
drived, beat the other kid to death. This kid got one punch, and now this guy's also still deciding to swing at him. I'd be like, my boy Jeff, it's
I,
yours.
I would leave. Yeah, I would not be fighting back.
As
Like,
he
I'm
lay there,
good.
bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile. "What's so funny?" asked Jeff. Keith pulled out a lighter and switched it on. "What's funny," he said, "is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol." Jeff's eyes widened as Keith threw the lighter at him. As soon as the flame made contact with him, the flames ignited the alcohol and the vodka. While the alcohol burned him, the bleach bleached his skin. Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught on fire. He tried to roll out the fire, but it was no use. The alcohol had made him a walking inferno. He ran down the hall, fell down the stairs. He didn't turn on the water in the bathroom? Fell down the stairs. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff, now a man on fire, drop to the ground, nearly dead. The last thing Jeff saw was his mother and other parents trying to extinguish the flame. That's when he passed out. I'll say it. These are all really bad parents.
Yeah, there's kids literally fighting, and instead of stopping them, you're the parent. Like, oh, they have a gun. You are the worst parents ever. You literally just watch your son fight for his life, and you did nothing to stop it.
Well, and they're out of ammo, so I assume they, like, threw their guns down, and the parents saw that and they're like, man, my boy, they knew Jeff had that dog in him, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Very interesting. Well, and also, you're on fire, you're in, like, a bathroom, and I assume he's close enough to a shower or something. And his first reaction is to just run around. So, yeah, I see he's 12. But he is also an elite super spy, so that's on me.
Yeah.
I don't know what his code word is. When Jeff woke up, he had a cast wrapped around his face. He couldn't see anything, but he felt a cast on his shoulder and stitches all over his body. He tried to stand up, but he realized that there was some tube in his arm. He tried to get up, it fell out, and a nurse rushed in. "I don't think you can get out of bed just yet," she said. "She doesn't know my man Jeff." As she said, as she put him back in his bed and reinserted the tube. Jeff sat there with no vision, no idea of what his surroundings were. Finally, after hours, he heard his mother. "Honey, are you okay?" she asked. Jeff couldn't answer, though. His face was covered, and he was unable to speak. "Oh, honey, I have great news. After all the witnesses told the police that Randy confessed to trying to attack you, they decided to let Lou go." She is not happy. This news broke their mother.
I thought that Randy died. I thought he one punched Randy in the heart and killed him. How
I
did
think he
he?
did kill. Well, he said that like while he was confronting him at the party.
Oh, okay.
But I think all of them are dead.
I
All
think
of
the
the
one, oh,
attackers.
well, one of them is still alive. I'm pretty sure,
That's very possible.
but still, like this. Yeah, the mom is not happy though.
No, she's
She's
like,
not
God
happy.
damn it, they let Lou out. Now I have to raise
trying to
Lou.
trying to get rid of this little dude forever.
This little demon. Yeah. This made Jeff bolt up, stopping halfway, remembering the tube coming out of his arm. He'll be out by tomorrow, and then you two will be able to be together again. Jeff's mother hugs Jeff. Jeff's mother hugs Jeff. It's such an interesting thing. And says her goodbyes. The next couple of weeks were those where Jeff was visited by his family. Then came the day where his bandages were to be removed. His family were all there to see it. what he would look like as the doctors unwrapped the bandages from Jeff's face. Everyone was on the edge of their seats. They waited until the last bandage, holding the covers of his face, was almost removed. "Let's hope for the best," said the doctor. He quickly pulls the cloth, letting the rest fall from Jeff's face. Jeff's mother screams at the side of his face. Lou and Jeff's dad stare, awestruck, at his face. "What? What happened to my face?" Jeff said. He rushed out of bed and ran to the bathroom. He looked in the mirror and saw the cause of distress. His face, it was horrible. His lips were burnt to a deep shade of red. His face was turned into a pure white color. His hair singed from brown to black. Slowly he put his hands to his face, and it had a sort of leathery feel to it now. He looked back at his family and then back at the mirror. "Jeff," said Lou, "it's not that bad." "Not that... What are we not that bad?" said Jeff. "It's perfect." His family were equally surprised. Jeff started laughing uncontrollably. His parents noted that his left eye and hand were twitching. Jeff, are you okay?" "Okay, I've literally never felt more happy. Ha 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 ha." That is how it's ha 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 ha. "Look at me. This face goes perfectly with me." He couldn't stop laughing. He stroked his face, feeling it, looking at it in the mirror. What caused this? Well, you may recall that when Jeff was fighting Randy, something in his mind, his sanity, snapped. Now he was left as a crazy killing machine. That is, his parents did. He's been a crazy killing machine. This is not news. Bro is got so much of that dog in him, it's insane. Lady, did you just eat
Oh
that?
yeah. Oh yeah. He's a fighter. My
He really
God.
is. Like, goddamn. Mr. Jeffrey Killer. Or like Mr. Jeffrey Super Spy. "Doctor," said Jeff's mom, "is my son alright, in the head?" That's a crazy question in front of him.
Is my son insane?
Yeah, just a little insano. Um, oh yes, this behavior is typical for patients that have taken very large amount of painkillers. If his behavior doesn't change in a few weeks, bring him back here, and we'll give him a psychological test. Give him sticky sock prison. "Oh, thank you, doctor." Jeff's mother went over to Jeff. Jeff sweetly, "It's time to go." Jeff looks away from the mirror. His face still formed into a crazy smile. "'Kay, mummy, ha ha ha." His mother took him by the shoulder, took him to get his clothes. "This is what came in," said the lady at the desk. Jeff's mom looked down to see the black dress pants and white hoodie his son wore. Now they were clean of blood and now stitched together. Jeff's mother led him to his room and made him put his clothes on. Then they left, not knowing that this was their final day of life. Oh my god. Later that night,
Holy shit.
that's pretty on the nose. That's not even ominous. That's just they're gonna die. I wonder how.
Hmm. Wonder if someone's going to Jeff
Jeff
the
the
kill
murder
them.
them. Jeff's mother. Later that night, Jeffrey's mother woke to the sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as if someone was crying. She slowly walked over to see what it was. When she looked into the bathroom, she saw a horrendous sight. Jeff had taken a knife and carved a smile into his cheeks. "Jeff, what are you doing?" asked his mother. Jeff looked over to his mother. "I couldn't keep smiling, Mommy. It hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever." As if it's not gonna hurt to do this. Jeff's mother noticed his eyes, ringed in black. "Jeff, your eyes!" The eyes were seemingly never closing. "I couldn't see my face. I got tired. My eyes started to close. I burned out the eyelids so I could forever see myself. My new face." Jeff's mother slowly started to back away, seeing that her son was going insane. "What's wrong, Mommy? Aren't I beautiful?" "Yes, son," she said. "Yes, you are. Let me go get Daddy so you can see your face." She ran into the room and I shook Jeff's dad from his sleep. "Honey, get the gun." Oh my god. I would too, actually. She stopped as she saw Jeff in the doorway holding a knife. "Mommy, you lied." That was the last thing they hear as Jeff rushes them with a knife, gutting both of them. His brother Lou woke up, startled by some noise. He didn't hear anything else, so he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep. As he was on the border of slumber, he got the straightest feeling that someone was watching him. He looked up before Jeff's hand covered his mouth. Slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it to Lou. Lou thrashed here and there, trying to escape Jeff's grip. Shh, Jeff said. Just go to sleep. What do I? And that's
What do we?
Jeffrey Killer.
What a crazy story.
Yeah, I don't remember it too much from my childhood. I didn't remember it being that crazy. That was pretty sick. I forgot the fight scenes that Jeff just actually had that dog in him.
1v3'd, by the way, twice and won. By the way, just want you to know that. And he killed one dude with one punch to the heart. Just
yeah, literally one punch to the heart is all it took.
He's dead.
Absolutely insane. I gotta start becoming more like Jeffrey the Kill Man.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You gotta aspire to that, it sounds like.
Yeah, and what was up with all this gang? Like, there was already gang violence amongst the kids. They had guns, they had knives, and they were robbing people. And no adult in this city, because I assume they didn't just do it to Jeff. They probably did it to several other kids. No adult in the city was like, "Hey, we should do something about the fucking lollipop gang mugging all of our kids."
Nah, it's just $5. Not the fact that our kids come home with stab wounds and
Yeah, they'll be fine.
yeah, they'll be okay.
They'll toughen up. It'll build some character, I'm sure. That wasn't too bad at all.
Yeah.
You were right. Them stories run pretty long.
Yeah.
I believe it's
Benneth Drowned.
Mr. Benneth Drowned, the OG. Would you like to read this one, or would you like me to?
It doesn't matter to me. Whatever works for you.
I'll let you take it from the top. Done a lot of Jeffrey talk.
All right. So Ben Drowned. So this one looks like it was posted on like what was it? 4chan or something like that. It's like a message board. So it says, so we start off with the first post, post 1, September 7th, 2010. Okay, X, I need your help with this. This is not a copy pasta. It's a long read, but I feel like my safety or well-being could very well depend on this. It's video game related, specifically Majora's Mask, and it's the creepiest shit that has ever happened to me in my entire life. Have you ever played Majora's Mask? Have you played a lot of Legend of Zelda?
I played it a little bit. That was the one with the giant moon with the face, right?
Yeah.
I do remember that as a child.
It's a good game.
It goes hard. My boy Ben Drowned dissing on Majora's Mask.
Having said that, I recently moved into my dorm room starting as a sophomore in college, and a friend of mine gave me his old Nintendo 64. I was stoked, to say the least. I could finally play all those old games of my youth that I hadn't touched in at least a decade. His Nintendo 64 came with one yellow controller and a rather shoddy copy of Super Smash Bros. While beggars can't be choosers, needless to say, it didn't take long until I became bored with beating up level 9 CPUs. That weekend, I decided to drive around a few neighborhoods about 20 minutes or so off campus, hitting up the local garage sales, hoping to score some good deals from ignorant parents. I ended up picking up a copy of Pokemon Stadium, GoldenEye, F-Zero, and 2 other controllers for $2.
God damn, what a steal.
That's a steal. Yeah, where did he go? Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'd like to speak with these people. $2 and all that? Bunch of games?
No way. That's too good. No, he paid at least 20.
That's how I know it's fake.
Yeah.
Everything else could have happened to this.
Fake. Satisfied, I began to drive out of the neighborhood when one last house caught my attention. I still have no idea why it did. There were no cars there, and only one table was set up with random junk on it. But something sort of drew me there. I usually trust my gut on these things, so I got out of the car and was greeted by an old man. His outward appearance was, for lack of a better words, displeasing. It was odd. If you asked me to tell you why I thought that, I couldn't really pinpoint anything. It was just there was something about him that put me on edge. I can't explain it. All I can tell you is that it wasn't in the middle of the afternoon or there were other people within shouting distance. I would have not have thought of approaching this man. Dude, that's rude.
They just feel
Yeah,
mean. Like, 'cause he
this
also
dude's
doesn't
vibes are
describe it.
whack. Yeah, I couldn't tell you why I didn't like this dude, but his
But he's
vibes
kind
were
of
off.
icky.
He flashed a crooked smile at me and asked what I was looking for. Immediately, I noticed that he must have been blind in one eye. His right eye had that glazed over look about it. I forced myself to look to his left eye instead, trying not to offend, and asked him if he had any old video games. Damn. I was
That's
already
honest.
wondering how I could politely excuse myself from the situation, but he told me he had no idea what a video game was. But to my surprise, he then said he had a few ones in an old box. He assured me he'd be back in a jiffy and turned to head back towards the garage. So he knows what video game. Why would he say that he doesn't know what video games
Yeah,
are?
then be like, oh yeah,
And then
here's my
immediately
video
like,
game collection.
yeah, yeah, I actually have video games. It was a lie.
I don't know what that is, but I might have a couple.
I think I have a couple of them. I don't know what video games are, but I have a couple of them. Like some shady drug dealer, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
exactly.
I don't know what crack is, but I got a little bit of it.
But would you
I don't
like
know what it
some?
is though. As I watched him hobble away, I couldn't help but notice that he was selling what he was selling on his table. Littered across it were rather peculiar paintings, various artworks that looked like ink blots that a psychiatrist might show you. Curious, I looked through them. It was obvious why Noah was visiting this guy's garage sale.
Sound cuckoo.
Excuse me. There weren't exactly aesthetically pleasing. As I came to the last one for some reason, it almost looked like Majora's mask. The same heart-shaped body with little spikes protruding outward. Initially, I just thought that since I was secretly hoping to find that game at these garage sales, some Freudian bullshit was projecting itself into the ink blot. But given the events that happened afterwards, I'm not sure now. I should have asked the man about it. I wished I did ask the man about it. After staring at the Majora's shaped block, I looked up. The old man was suddenly there, arm's length in front of me, smiling at me. I admit I jumped out of reflex and laughed nervously as he handed me a Nintendo 64 cartridge. It was a standard gray color, except for someone had written Majora on it, black permanent marker. I got butterflies in my stomach as I realized what a coincidence this was and asked him how much he wanted for it. The old man smiled at me and told me that I could have it for free, that it used to belong to a kid who was about my age that didn't live here anymore. There was something weird about how he phrased that, but I didn't really pay any attention to it. I was too caught up in not only finding them in this game, but getting it for free. Crazy, by the way.
Yeah, this
Um,
kid's been living the best life. Everyone got good deals for him.
Also, all of these people in this neighborhood have Nintendo 64s. Like, he could have walked out. This old man could have been like, "Yeah, I have games," and then like walked out with like something for like the Sega Genesis or like maybe a PlayStation 2 or something. Like
Yeah,
there's no way like he happened to have a Nintendo
just the
64
right. Yeah.
or like all these other ones. He came with so much good shit from some of these. No way. Um I reminded myself to be a bit skeptical since this looked like a pretty shady cartridge and there was no guarantee it would work. But then the optimist inside of me interjected. Maybe it was some kind of beta version or pirated version. That was all I needed to be back on Cloud Nine. By the way, he got this for free. He's acting like he paid so much money for this game. He
Yeah,
got
it's
it
like it
for
is
free.
free. Worst case scenario, it's trash, right?
Literally, you can just throw it away. If you don't like it, just throw it away. You got it for free. I thanked the man and he smiled at me and wished me well, saying goodbye then. At least that was what it sounded like. All the way to the car ride home, I had a nagging doubt that he had said something else. My fears were confirmed when I booted up the game. To my surprise, it worked just fine. And there was one save file simply named Ben. Goodbye, Ben. He was saying goodbye, Ben. Uh, I felt bad for the man. Obviously, a grandparent and obviously going senile, I, for some reason or another, reminded him of his grandson, Ben. Out of
Sense.
curiosity, I looked at the save file, eyeballing it. I could tell that he was pretty far into the game. He had almost all of the mass and three-fourths of the bosses remained. I noticed that he had used an owl statue to save his game. He was on day 3 in the Stone Tower Temple with hardly an hour left before the moon would crash. I remember thinking that it was a shame that he had come so close to beating the game but never finished it. I made a new file named Link out of tradition and started the game, ready to relive my childhood. For such a shady looking cartridge, I was impressed at how smoothly it ran, literally just like a retail copy of the game. Maybe because it is.
Yeah, it
Maybe
might just
because it
be.
is. Save for a few minor hiccups, here and there, like textures being where they shouldn't be and random flashes of cutscenes at odd intervals, but nothing too bad. However, the only thing that had been a little unnerving was uh, at times the NPCs would call me Link, and at other times they would call me Ben. I figured it was just a bug, a fluke in the
Yeah.
programming causing our files to get mixed up or something. It did kind of creep me out after a while, though. It had been uh, it was around after I had beaten the Woodfall Temple that I regrettably went into the save file and deleted Ben. I
Oh,
had intended to preserve the file just out of respect. Uh, it's not like I needed two files anyway, hoping that that would solve the problem. It did, and it didn't. Now NPCs wouldn't call me anything, where my name should have been in the dialogue, there was just a blank space. Frustrated, and with homework to do, I put the game down for the day.
less.
Yeah, I don't know. He's very judgy of a game that he got for free, by the way.
He is. Maybe it's
Like, oh,
definitely
this game
feedback.
sucks. It doesn't work right. You got it for free.
That is why.
I started playing it again last night, getting into the lens of truth and working my way towards completing the Snowhead Temple. Now, some more hardcore Majora Mass players know about the fourth day glitch. For those who don't, you can Google it. But the gist is, right as the clock is about to hit 0 on the final day, you can talk to the astronomer and look through the telescope. If you time it right, the countdown disappears and you essentially have another day to finish whatever you were doing. Deciding to do the glitch to try and finish the Snowhead Temple, it happened to get it right on the first try, and the time counted at the bottom disappeared. However, when I pressed speed exit the telescope, instead of being greeted by the astronomer, I found myself in the Majora boss fight room at the end of the game. Staring at the Skull Kid hovering above me, there was no sound, just him floating in the air, and the background music was the regular for the area. Immediately, my palms began to sweat. But no matter where I went, Skull Kid would always be facing me, looking at me, not saying anything. Nothing would happen though, and this kept up for around 60 seconds. Sorry, I literally just lost my spot.
I did that so many times on Jeffrey. I was like, goddamn.
I thought the game had bugged or something, but I was beginning to doubt that very much. I was about to reach for the reset button when text appeared. You're not sure why, but you apparently had a reservation. I instantly recognized the text. You get that message when you get to the room key from Anju at the Stockpot Inn. But why was it playing here? I refused to entertain the notion. It was almost as if the game was trying to communicate with me. I started to navigate the room again, testing to see if there was some sort of trigger that enabled me to interact with something here. Then I realized how stupid I was. To even think that someone could reprogram the game like this was absurd. Sure enough, 15 seconds later, another message appeared on the screen. Again, like the first one, it was already a pre-existing phrase. Go to the lair of the temple boss. Yes, no? I paused for a second, contemplating what I should press and how the game would react. When I realized that I couldn't select no, taking a deep breath, I pressed yes, and the screen faded to white with the words of Dawn of a New Day and the subtext, and it's a bunch of lines. Subtext blank beneath it.
Sheesh.
Where where I was ported to filled me with the most intense sense of dread and impending fear I'd ever experienced. The only way I can describe the way I felt here was having the feeling of inexplicable depression on a profound scale. I'm normally not a depressed person, but the way I felt here was a feeling that I didn't even knew existed. It was such a twisted and powerful presence that seemed to wash over me. Great. So now we're getting into the meat. It seems like
Yeah, now it's
he's
sauce time.
he's starting to get you know starting to get attacked by this ghost. Um, I appeared in some kind of Twilight Zone version of Clocktown. I walked out of Clocktown tower as you normally do when you start day one, only to find that all the inhabitants were gone. Usually, with the fourth day glitch, you can still find the guards and the dog that runs outside the tower. This time, they were all gone. What replaced them was this ominous feeling that there was something out there in the same area as me and that it was watching me. I had 4 hearts to my name and the hero's bow, but at this point, I wasn't even concerned for my avatar. I felt that I personally was in some kind of danger. Perhaps the most chilling thing was the music. It was a song of healing ripped straight from the game itself, but played in reverse. It got louder, building up as if you expect something to pop out, but nothing ever did. The constant loop began to wear my mental state. Wear on my mental state.
Actually, like you can't just turn it off.
Yeah, psychological torture. He's like strapped in the chair, and they're forcing him to play.
I am now Mr. Majora Mask.
I would get up and just turn it off.
Yeah. Like, I'm good.
Every now and then, I would hear the faint laugh of the happy mask salesman in the background, just quiet enough so that I wasn't sure if I was hearing things, but just loud enough to keep me determined to find him. I looked in all 4 zones of Clocktown, only to find nothing. No one. Textures were missing. West Clocktown had me walking on air. The entire area felt broken, hopelessly broken. As the reverse song of healing repeated for what must have been the 50th time, I remembered standing in the middle of South Clocktown, realizing that I had never felt so alone in a video game before. As I walked through Ghost Town, I don't know whether it was a combination of the out-of-place textures and the atmosphere or the haunting melody of the once peaceful and soothing song being butchered and distorted, but I was literally on the verge of tears, and I had no idea why. I hardly ever cry. Something had gripped me here with more powerful sense of depression that was both foreign and crippling. Dude, just turn off the game.
What does it say? Touch grass, bro.
It's crazy that he's just like, yeah, guys, I still had to play. I don't get it. This guy, it's self-inflicted. He deserves this.
Self-inflicted, yeah. Could have been saved.
I tried leaving Clocktown, but every time I attempted to zone out, the screen would fade to black and I would just zone into another part of the town. I tried playing my ocarina. I wanted to escape. I did not want to be here, but every time I played the Song of Time or the Song of Soaring, it would say your notes echo far, but nothing happens. By this point, it was obvious the game didn't want me to leave, but I had no idea why. It was keeping me here. I didn't want to go inside the buildings, but I felt like I would be too vulnerable there to whatever I was terrified of. I don't know why, but I came up with the idea maybe if I drowned myself in the laundry pool, I could spawn somewhere else and leave this place. As I zoned in and ran towards the pool, that's when it happened. Link grabbed his head. The screen flashed for a brief moment of the happy mask salesman smiling at me, not Link, me, with Skull Kid's scream playing in the background. When the screen returned, I was staring at the Link statue from playing the song of eulogy of the emptiness. I screamed as the thing stared back at me with a haunting facial expression. I turned around and ran out and back into South Clocktown, and to my horror, the statue followed me. The only thing I can compare it to was the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who. Every so often, at random intervals, the animation would play of the statue appearing behind me. It was like the thing was chasing me, or I don't even want to say it, haunting me. What a baby.
Yeah, actually.
What a baby.
Game's Joey.
What a little baby. By this point, I was on the verge of hysterics, but not even once did the thought of turning off the console occur to me. I don't know why. I was so wrapped up. The terror felt all so real. I tried to shake the statue, but it literally appeared right behind me every single time. Link started to begin to make weird animations I had never seen him even do before. He would flail his arms around or spasm randomly, and the scream would cut to the happy mask salesman smiling again for a brief moment before I was face to face with that fucking statue again. I ended up running into the Swordmaster's dojo and to the back. I don't even know why, but in my panic, I just wanted some kind of assurance that I wasn't alone here. To my dismay, I found no one. But as I turned to leave, the statue cornered me in the cubby of the back. I tried attacking it with my sword, but no avail. Confused and backed in the corner, I just stared at the statue, waiting for it to kill me. Suddenly, the screen flashed again to the happy mask salesman. Link turned to face my screen, sitting upright, mirroring the statue, looking at me along with his copy, literally staring at me. Whatever was left of the fourth wall is completely shattered while I ran out of the dojo terrified. Suddenly, the game warped me to an underground tunnel, and the reverse song of healing queued up again as I was given a brief moment of rest before the statue started appearing behind me again, this time aggressively. I could only take a few steps before it would summon behind me again. I hurriedly made my way out of the tunnel and appeared in southern Clocktown. As I ran aimlessly in sheer panic, suddenly a re-dead screamed, and the screen faded to black as a dawn of a new day and blink appeared again. The screen faded in and out, and I was standing on top of Clock Tower with Skull Kid hovering over me again, silent. I looked up at the moon and back, looming just meters above my head. The Skull Kid stared at me hauntingly with that mask. A new song was played. The Stone Tower Temple theme played in reverse. In some sort of desperate attempt, I equipped my bow and fired off a shot at Skull Kid. It actually hit him and played animation of him reeling back. I fired again, and on the third arrow, a text box appeared saying, "That won't do any good. Hee hee." I was picking up off the ground and levitated upwards on my back. Link screamed as he burst into flames, instantly killing him.
Jesus.
Holy
That's why Link
shit.
didn't deserve it.
Dude, that's crazy. He didn't deserve it. Now he's dead. I jumped when this happened. I had never seen this move used by anyone in the game, and Skull Kid himself didn't have any moves. As the death screen played, my lifeless body still burning. Skull Kid laughed, and the screen faded to black, only to have me reappear in the same place. I decided to charge him, but the same thing happened. Link's body was lifted off the ground by some unknown force, and he immediately burst into flames. The faint sounds of the reverse song of healing could be heard. On my third and final try, I noticed that there was no music playing this time and that there was an eerie silence. I remember the original encounter. You were supposed to use the ocarina to either travel back in time or summon the giants. I attempted to play the Song of Time, but before I could hit the last note, Link's body once again horrifically exploded into flames. As the death screen neared its end, it began to chug, as if the cartridge was trying to process a lot of something. When the screen came to, it was the same scene as the first three, except this time Link was lying on the ground, dead in a position I had never seen in the game before. His head was tilted to the camera with the Skull Kid floating above him. I couldn't move. I couldn't press any buttons. All I could do was just stare at Link's dead body. After about 30 seconds of this game simply faded out, showing the message, "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" before kicking you to the title screen. Upon getting back to the title screen and starting in, I noticed my save file was no longer there. Instead of Link, it was replaced with "Your Turn." Your Turn had 3 hearts, 0 mass, and no items. I selected Your Turn and immediately returned to the Clock Tower rooftop scene with my dead Link and Skull Kid hovering over. With the Skull Kid's laugh looping again and again, I quickly hit the reset button, and when the game booted up again, there was one more save file added, Your Turn, one more save file added below Your Turn entitled Ben. Ben's save file was right back where it was before I deleted it at Stone Tower Temple with the moon almost crashing.
You deleted a save.
Yeah, I would be. I actually had that happen. I think it was either one of my I think it was one of my cousins borrow something and it was like, "Hey, just make sure you don't do this," and they did it and deleted my save file. I think it was for I can't remember what game it was for. All I remember is getting it back, getting ready to play on my save, and then it was gone. I had to restart. I was very upset.
You should have done a Jeffrey the Murder on them.
I thought about it. I turned off the game at that point. I'm not superstitious, but this is way too effed up, even for me. I haven't played it at all today. Hell, I didn't even get any sleep last night. I kept hearing the reverse song of healing music in my head and just remembered the sense of dread I felt exploring Clocktown. I drove back to the old man's house today to ask him some questions with a buddy of mine, only to find that it was a for sale sign in the front yard. How convenient.
Suspicious.
When I rang the door, no one was home. So now I'm back here writing down the rest of my thoughts and recording what happened. Sorry if some of this was grammatically errored and whatnot. I'm running on no sleep air. I'm terrified of this game, even more so now that I relived it a second time writing this all down, but I feel like there's still more to that than meets the eyes. And there was something calling me to this investigation, this further. I think Ben is something in this equation, but I don't know what. And if I could get a hold of the old man, I would. Then I would be able to find some answers. I need another day or so to recuperate before tackling this game again. I feel like it's already
Understood.
taken a toll on my sanity, but next time I do this, I'm going to be recording my footage all the way through. The idea to record only came to me towards the end to see if the last few minutes of what I saw, including Skull Kid and the eulogy statue, but it's on YouTube here. I'm going to stay in this thread for a little while longer before I fall asleep to answer any questions you guys might have and hopefully listen to your ideas or theories to help me shed some light into this. Or maybe I should try and do, uh, or maybe things I should try to do. I think I'm going to play Ben's file tomorrow to see what happens. Maybe I was supposed to do that all along. I don't believe in paranormal shit, but this is a little fucked up. But maybe this Ben guy is just a really good hacker programmer. I don't want to think about the alternative if he isn't.
The alternative ghost.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And that's the end of the first post, but there's a lot of posts. It's actually a very long story. So I don't know if we want to come back to it because it is a lot of reading.
We can come back to it if you want, or we could finish it. It's up to you. No, we're at about an hour and 12 minutes.
Okay.
If you want to pivot, we could pivot to the AI one. We could finish Mr. Benson drowning.
I think we gotta take a break from that. That's a lot of reading.
Valid. Lady, you eating this? Yeah. Honestly, word of advice to Mr. Benethan drowned. Don't play the game. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't remember the story being as long as it is. That's
I remember just this part. I didn't know there was one.
yeah, I didn't realize there was more. I didn't realize there was more to this.
Apparently, there's a video. Or is that just like part?
There are actual videos. He did actually record. The dude who made this originally actually did like um recorded footage for it. He kind of like hacked it. I don't remember. There's videos that explained what
Yeah,
he did,
that is
but
cool.
yeah, so he could actually record footage for it.
You appreciate these little online stories that like they go the extra mile.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And you're wanting to take a little break, is it? Chilling,
Uh,
or did you want?
it's up to you. Um, because there's, I think, let's see how many posts are left for this guy. We have 4 posts left, and I think they're either about the same. So the second one's a little bit longer, the third one's not very long, and then the fourth one's not very long, and the fifth one is also not very long.
Gotcha.
The first post was really long. Let's go through the AI one.
All right, we had Mr. ChatGPT himself write us a horror story. My mouse. A little creepy pasta. So this is AI's take on creepy pasta. They titled it the Midnight Channel.exe.
Very interesting.
Yeah, let's see it. I used to browse old gaming forums for fun. Abandoned threads, dead links, weird mods, people half finished in 2008. It's nostalgic in a way. Most of the time, the download links are dead, but every now and then you strike something strange. That's why I found midnightchannel.exe. It was buried in a thread about Persona 4 PC mods, a forgotten forum that hadn't been updated since 2012. Post had no replies, just a media fire link and the words, "If you watch long enough, it watches back." Bum, bum, bum. Curiosity won. I downloaded it. The file wasn't even a mod, it was a standalone executable. When I opened it, a window popped up, checking connection, followed by connected to Midnight Channel. I will say, this is how you get virus.
Yeah, he went on a forum, downloaded a file, and then
Random.exe.
yeah, no wonder.
I, the
He's like,
screen
yeah,
went
sure.
black. Then it showed static, like an old CRT TV, struggling to tune into something. Figured it was an ARG or fan game, but when the static cleared, the screen displayed me, like my webcam feed, except my webcam light wasn't on. Yep, downloaded a virus. I couldn't move my mouse, couldn't alt tab, couldn't close it. The game just stared at me for a full minute before a text prompt appeared. What do you want to see?
This
Typed. Oh, there you go.
I was gonna say this is one of this is definitely like a crappy little creepypasta. Like
It's very well in slotting into the vibe, yeah.
which is
Um,
hilarious.
I'm appreciating that it took the part of it being kind of shitty. um, I typed in nobody, but the keyboard lag and letters glitched out. The response came accepted, now showing you. It fucking roasted him. He typed in nobody and it said, "Well, you're looking at one, bud."
I got him.
The feed distorted again. My reflection blinked, but I froze. The me on the screen smiled, way too wide, way too slow. Then it leaned closer until only its eyes filled the frame. The window crashed. I deleted the file, cleared my temp folder to empty the bin. But that night around midnight, my monitor flickered on by itself, static, then my reflection again, smiling. I unplugged the PC. Didn't help. The screen stayed on until I turned to look directly at it. The next morning, the executable was back on my desktop, but the icon had changed. It wasn't the TV symbol anymore, it was my face. And under it, the file name had updated itself. Your name online.exe. That's it. That's the full story. A little short and sweet one.
Oh my goodness. That was just as bad as some actual creepypastas are.
It is actually insane how it emulated it like to a very high degree. That is like very much what I would expect like scrolling a creepypasta like form. Something exactly like that.
Like, okay. Yeah, that's not surprising.
It's pretty silly, actually. Crazy.
We love AI.
Yeah, they go hard. It's
Just kidding. I don't.
it's kind of rough. It might be the end times, but that's alright. But
What a goofy story.
yeah, he did his best, Mr. ChatGPT. Thank you for your kind
Mm.
How do you feel about creepypasta? Is your opinion? You've probably read all of these. What do
Yeah,
you?
I've listened to them or read them. I think they're interesting. I think they're a product of their time when they first started. I think um because the internet was kind of new. It was like a new medium for horror. Um and some of them were really creepy. They were genuinely were.
Yeah, facts.
Uh, like some of the seeing how they evolved and turned into like analog horror in a way, and like analog horror stories are very interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of like a full circle, and it just evolves to
Hmm.
scare
Yep.
you. I do. I
Yeah,
kind of like the fact that they're poorly written.
I do too. It has that feeling of this like this is a person actively writing this story
Yeah, they're
compared
poorly
to
written in a way that helps. It conveys the message.
it feels very authentic.
That is us taking on um Creepypasta. Same opinions,
Yeah.
no takeaways. Actually, yeah, some takeaways. If you're fighting a guy and he kills two of your best friends with anime moves, don't fight him.
Yeah.
Give up.
Uh, yeah. After the first round, by the way, they lost already. They lost one time and wanted revenge. If you lost the first time, you're not winning the second one.
Yeah, he's just gonna clap your cheeks again.
Yeah.
Then Mr. Bend Round, touch some grass, buddy. That would save him so much trouble if you just touch some grass. This
If
game
he
makes me feel like so depressed and awful, and it's like giving me nightmares. Don't play it, friend.
you're not, yeah, no one's telling you have to play it.
Like you will survive without this game. I promise you. Those are my key takeaways.
Yeah. Moral of the story is don't fight if you lose the 1v3, don't try and do it again. And if you are playing a video game, you are allowed to not play it if you don't want to.
Yeah, I like that the problem with Bend Round is the same problem with like League of Legends players. This game made me feel so horribly depressed I can't put it down.
True. So true. That's exactly how they treat it too.
It really is. Alright, I think that's a good one. A good one, everybody. Please like, please comment, subscribe. We need
Yeah.
growth so that way we can afford to buy 40 Cybertrucks, burn them in a pit.
Yeah. Happy Halloween, guys. Stay spooky.
Stay spooky.